Hey guys, welcome to Confusing Bits. I am Corey, and let's talk about John Green's The Anthropocene Reviewed. Essays on a Human-Centered Planet. In case you don't know, John Green is known a little bit more famously. I don't know if he's famous for that or not. He is definitely one of the things he's known for is on YouTube. He's one of the part of the dynamic duo with his brother called the Vlog Brothers, and also helped to create and produce Crash Course series of videos. So Crash Course History, Crash Course Philosophy, blah blah blah. His company is behind all of that. And of course SciShow, and basically the powerhouse of education on YouTube. So that's where I know him from, and I listen to this on audiobook. He does read the audiobook, so you get to hear that familiar voice talk to you on the book. But this he has done, I do believe he's written some other books. Yeah, he's a best-selling author of Turtles All the Way Down and Fault of Our Stars. I'm not sure what Turtles All the Way Down is, but Fault of Our Stars, I believe, is a YA novel or something like that. But this is the first time I've ever read John Green. Yeah, the little tag tag is Essays on a Human-Centered Planet. Let's do the spiel right here. In the Anthropocene, there are no disinterested observers. There are only participants. Sorry, a frog in my throat all of a sudden. The Anthropocene is the current geologic age in which humans have profoundly reshaped the planet and its biodiversity. In this remarkable symphony of essays adapted and expanded from his groundbreaking podcast, best-selling author John Green reviews different facets of the human-centered planet on a 5-star scale, from QWERTY keyboard to sunsets to Canadian geese and penguins of Madagascar. Funny, complex, and rich with detail, the review charts the contradiction of contemporary humanities as a species. We are both far too powerful and not powerful enough, a paradox that came into sharp focus when we faced a global pandemic that separated us and bound us together. John Green's gift of storytelling shines throughout this masterful collection. The Anthropocene Reviewed is an open-hearted exploration of the paths we forged, an unironic celebration of falling in love with the world. And John Green is the award-winning #1 best-selling author of books including Looking for Alaska, The Fault in Our Stars, Turtles All the Way Down. His books have received many accolades, including Prince Medal, a Prince Honor, and an Edgar Award. John has twice been a finalist for the LA Times Book Prize and selected by Time Magazine as one of the 100 most influential people in the world. He's also a writer and host of the critically acclaimed podcast, The Anthropocene Reviewed, with his brother Hank. John has co-created many online video projects, including Vlog Brothers and the educational channel Crash Course. He lives in his family in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'm a fan of John Green. Like I said, I've never read his books. Him and his brother are kind of like, maybe it's just because I kind of always got the sense that that they were very much like in the politically correct kind of category, insensitive, like overly sensitive kind of people or whatever, and maybe that was a little bit harsh me to judge them that way, but they definitely kind of come across that way. It could be just because, they're on YouTube, and this book didn't dissuade me of that notion. But that's kind of something that I've always kind of found off-putting from him. But reading his actual book here, and it's just, I think it's just really having now read the book, I think it's just honest, just a very conscious kind of person, a thoughtful kind of person. At least that's the way that it came across with me. So I don't know what to I'm not trying to make a controversial statement about the Vlogbrothers, but that's the thing had come across for me having watched them over the years, is they had kind of seemed like they had gotten a little really politically correct, and a little, kind of tipping into absurdity. But no, I think it's just a genuine attempt to be conscientious or whatever, So anyway, I don't know. This is like a random aside, my thoughts about John Green. Not that anybody cares, but yeah, this book is, as it mentions, is a kind of a series of essays. They're small little essays, and it was come out right when the COVID and Rona stuff and everything was falling apart, and we didn't know what was going on. This book was like in the middle of that, apparently. And it is just like individual essays, and it says Anthropocene reviews. He literally reviews things. Like he reviews the halls of presidents. Like the halls of presidents is like the Disney ride, whatever you go in, and it's the animatronic talking people or whatever. They're all presidents and stuff. That kind of creepy / charming animatronic Disney stuff that if you've been on those rides, you know exactly what I'm talking about. I remember them very fondly, but yeah. So he talks about the halls of president. What did he give? He usually ends up with until then, the halls of president will always feel a little plastic to me. I give it 2 stars. So it's literally he really sticks to the theme, right? He's actually air conditioning. What do we got here? Viral meningitis, the Bonneville Salt Flats, Indianapolis, Harvey. What's it? The movie Harvey, apparently. I don't remember that one. The movie Harvey. Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest. It's like such a random slice of American topics, kind of, and it's I shouldn't have been, but I was surprised how well I like John's writing. I like what he wanted to talk about. I like how he talked about it. He's entertaining. He's funny. He's thought-provoking. He's and I shouldn't have been surprised, because obviously I watched the YouTube shows or whatever, and I find most of that content to be enjoyable, and obviously he's writing that, right? So why should I be surprised? Yeah, it's I know this doesn't really mean anything nowadays, but number one New York Times bestseller, we don't really have these indications of quality anymore, because I don't know if you know this, but this number one New York Times bestseller, if you have enough money, what you do is your author publishes their book, and then the publisher goes out and just buys a bunch of their own copies or whatever, just so it could be the bestseller, just can hit the charts for that week or whatever. They do tricks like that, right? So it sold, but it's kind of like the box office numbers, right? What was the movie recently came out where the box office numbers were wildly inaccurate, and apparently one of the movie houses got caught with their pants down or something like that, lying out there. But it was some kind of political nonsense. It was a political movie of some sort that they got caught recently doing that. Anyway, doesn't matter. It's a good book. I do recommend it if you want a nonfiction book and you can start and stop this book, because the chapters individually are kind of short. They're 3 to 5 pages often, so you can just kind of pick it up and go, and you can read a full thought. and then put it down. So if you're, I don't know, if you wanted to get back into reading or something like that, you could do this. Where you could just read the book 3 to 5 pages at a time, one chapter at a time. And you don't have to follow. There's no like narrative going through the whole thing. Not really. There's sort of, but not really. So it's not like you gotta, you could read this 3 to 5 pages at a time, like over many weeks, and you wouldn't, because each chunk is individually digestible, so to speak. So anyway, so if you wanted to, this would be an excellent way to get back into reading, especially if you wanted to read something nonfiction or whatever. It's a fun book. I really like John Green. I'm definitely going to check out some of his other stuff. I'd heard The Fault in Our Stars, but I thought it was a young. And there's a movie. I haven't seen the movie. So I might have to. I will definitely be checking out something else from John Green. Obviously, he's an author that I like. So I'll have to do this some more. Anyway, I've rambled on long enough. It's a good book. I would definitely recommend it. I didn't do mine too long. Have I dropped that from my review kit? Is the too long didn't watch? Well, this is the too long, but you did actually watch. It's a good book. You should pick it up. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the next one. I guess the next one that I'll do is. Did I really? I think I did it this way. I think we did Jim Butcher's Stormfront. This is the first book of the Dresden Files series. So we'll do that next week. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next week. Bye.